Hi, I'm Harrison, and in this episode I'm going to be making a picture frame. This is with square lashing, 4 sticks and 4 bits of string. So I've collected here my 4 sticks, move these leaves out the way, of relatively similar size, and I'm going to be lashing them together with a mixture of 2 knots. One I'm going to be working from a single end of a piece of rope, and the other I'm going to be working from a centre, just to demonstrate a bit of variance. So I'm going to start with a clove hitch. That is going to be one loop going one way and the other loop going the other way, like Mickey Mouse ears, and then I'm going to bring them forwards and backwards and fold them over one another. So there's that clove hitch there. I'm then going to get my second stick and I'm going to lay it at 90 degrees across. I'm then going to start going over the over and under the under. So I've nicknamed these 2 sticks. The one that's on top is of course the over, and the one that's underneath is the under. I'm going to do this a couple of times, always pulling it nice and tight so there's plenty of tension. Okay, once I've done that, I'm then going to go around the middle. Now this is going to squeeze in that middle section, just like so. I'm going to go all the way around again, squeezing it in nice and tight. I can probably get one more in there as well. And then I'm going to finish with a reef knot, so I'm going to be tying it back to the piece of string that I started with. So I can turn it over just like this. I'm going to go right over left and then left over right to create those 2 interlocking loops. So that is my first square lashing, starting at the end of a piece of string. This time I'm going to get a slightly longer piece. Let's have a look here. Go. And for this one I'm actually going to be working from the middle of the piece of string, so I'm going to get the 2 ends and I'm going to just slide my hand down to find that center. So I'm going to lay my next stick across. Now rather than having to start with the clove hitch, this time I can start with that central loop and I'm going to thread it underneath my under. Under that bottom stick. I'm then going to effectively keep our string in each hand and they're going to mirror each other. So I'm going to go over the over this time. Then I'm going to go under the under again, and I'm actually going to pass them from one hand to the other. So I'm going to crisscross underneath that under. So I've swapped my bits of string over. They're then going to come back over the over, and then I'm going to crisscross under the under. Now I've got enough cord here to do that one more time, so I'm going to go over the over and crisscross, and then as I did before with the white string, I'm going to go now around the middle. So I'm going to send one piece of string one way and one the other way. And again, they're just going to keep swapping from hand to hand. And I'm going to squeeze all of that tension on nice and tight. That's it. And I can keep going around that middle. One more time, and then I will finish with that reef knot again. So I'm going to go right over left, just like I'm starting my shoes, and then left over right. There we go. So there is the square lashing having started in the middle. Now I've lined up these 3 sticks, I can place my 4th on. I'm going to pick that line up, and I'm going to start again from the end of the string. So I'm going to do another clove hitch. This time I'm going to start with my hands like so, and I'm going to crisscross and then crisscross again. Just a different technique of making that clove hitch pattern. I can slide that onto the string here, onto the stick, sorry. And then, as I did before, I'm going to follow with my worm. It's going to come over the over, under the under, back and forth. So I'm pulling lots of nice tension on all the time, so it's nice and tight. I can go over again. And then I'm going to go around the middle. Once and twice. Squeezing it nice and tight. And then finishing with that reef knot. Right over left, left over right. There we go. Now I've got a piece of string here. Let's see, it's all tangled up. There we go. Oh, let's have a look there. Let's see if I can find another one. There we go, this one will do. This one's just fine. So again, it's roughly about sort of an arm and a chest length, or fingertip to opposite shoulder. So I'm going to start with from the middle, again, getting my 2 ends together, going down and finding that central point, and I loop that under my under to begin. And I'm going to line that stick up, and then I'm going to keep those 2 separate, and I'm going to work over the over, twist under the under, and go back over the over, twist, swapping hands, under the under, back over the over. Once I've done it those 3 times, I'm then going to do a twist there, and I'm going to start going around the middle. Again, 1 string going one way, 1 string going the other, pulling all that nice tension on, back and forth. It looks like a squirrel's come to see what I'm doing. And then I will finish it with the reef knot. So I'm going to go right over left, and then left over right. And there we go. There's my 4 square lashing knot frame.